that will deliver more jobs. Expected to raise income by an average of more than $4,000. So your income goes up. It's like having a $4,000 increase, which isn't bad. It's a lot of money to spend. A lot of jobs are going to be created with the money that you spend. Very special. It makes America competitive again so we can bring back that simple but beautiful phrase. You've heard it before, made in the USA, right? I don't know if they've heard it, but you've heard it. Our current tax code is burdensome, complex, and profoundly unfair. It has exported our jobs, closed our factories, and left millions of parents worried that their children might be the first generation to have less opportunity than the last. Our factories have left, so many of them, gone, but they're all coming back. And you see it, even before we do this, they're starting to come back. Our country's starting to do really well again. And as a country, we're being let bad things happen with respect to the economy of our country. We're not going to lose our businesses again like has happened over the last number of decades. America is coming back bigger and better and stronger than ever before. Okay? They'll see it, and they're going to see the result. America isn't content just by getting by. America is about getting ahead, about finding the best in ourselves and in each other. We're reclaiming our destiny as Americans, a nation that thinks big, dreams bigger, and always reaches for the stars. We didn't become great through massive taxation and Washington regulation. And by the way, we are cutting regulation at a rate never seen before in the history of our country. We became great because our people, our families, and because of our freedom. We became great because of our drive to find the next horizon, to unlock the next mystery, and to begin the next adventure. You know what I'm talking about. And that's who we are, a nation of strivers and builders and dreamers and doers, people who treasure their independence and don't know how to quit. Never quit, never ever give up, never ever. I say that also to our great cabinet. And they've done a great job. A lot of things have happened. Nobody's done the job that we've done. When government loosens its grip, there is no summit we cannot reach. Our tax cuts will break down, and they'll break it down fast, all forms of government and all forms of government barriers, and breathe new life into the American economy. They will unleash the American worker. They will tear down the restraints on discovery, innovation, and creation, and they will restore the hopes and dreams of the American family. Millions of middle-class families will win under our plan. And today we are honored to hear from a few of those wonderful and truly great families. Bryant and Ashley Glick, right? Are from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. I know it well. They have two beautiful children with a third on the way. Bryant manages a farm equipment store. Ashley works in healthcare. This year they were in the 15% tax bracket. Under our plan, they will drop to the 12% bracket. It's a big drop. Instead of itemizing their deductions, they will be able to file their taxes on a single little beautiful sheet of paper. That's good. That's good. And instead of paying $2,600 in income taxes, they will get it down to $2,000. They'll save at least $600 and probably more than that. Bryant, Ashley, how about saying a few words? You want to? Come on. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Many of your predecessors promised that this reform
and it gives them nearly 1/3 of their money back.
In adolescence, and we don't know who will go on to commit suicide, but we but we don't know what the risk factors are. And over the past 60 years, our knowledge hasn't improved. So what we want to do is we want to use cell phones or smartphones to better study adolescents who are at risk for suicide behaviors and suicide, might go on to attempt suicide. And by continuously following them over a period of time and assessing what they say online and what music they listen to and what kind of patterns, basically everything they do, and to upload that to the cloud and to have a machine analyze that, because we have the new technology that is able to actually really disentangle this complex automatically, so it's all anonymous, but we have the new technology that's better able to examine this and to hopefully provide us with new risk factors.
So you're taking a two-pronged approach, really. So you're looking at the biological factors for resilience to help protect the brain and behaviour, but also the behavioural outputs that might predict whether someone's at risk of mental health. What are the ethical implications for this kind of data being available?
Yeah, there's got to be some risks to this, right?
Well, that's really interesting. So there, of course, are ethical issues. Like we need to make sure that it's very clear that all the data that we would be collecting is all stored using really high encryption. And we have double encryption software, and that no one will actually go and see the pictures that we are being taking. It's all being analyzed by computers, by machines, but what happens if an adolescent would write in a text, "I am going to commit suicide today"? That is an important thing that we then would be able to
This is this issue in terms of being able to describe the holistic package of all of the neurons, is that when you go in and when you touch and measure, you actually then make an effective change, which means that you're no longer uploading what you originally set out to. And so this plasticity and this difference makes that a really big challenge.
But in a sense, do we not already have that? So, you know, the books of Oliver Sacks, you know, he's dead, but we have his books. So, you know, it's the outputs of our brain, in some ways, that's an upload, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. And do we even need to go to the level of neurons in order to immortalize the essence of someone? What if we just did a battery of tests on you to see how you react in certain conditions and how you make decisions and then store that information to be able to emulate it at another point.
And the question is also, when do you store the information? Because memories change over time and experiences change. When you're an adolescent or when you're an adult, when would we do this?
Okay, folks, I hate to interrupt this, but we've got... Okay, so we can expand that to the greatest potential for breakthroughs in neuroscience or just brain science kind of in general. Anna Laura, do you want to tackle that first?
Well, yeah, I think obviously smartphone technology, using that to study mental health disorder and to study risk in mental health, that will be a really highly potential for great breakthroughs.
Okay, great. Martin, super quickly.
Okay, yeah, I think the tools are becoming a lot more advanced in terms of the specificity with which we can actually achieve mind control in a positive way. So like optogenetics, for example, is the kind of sexy technique in neuroscience at the moment, where you can actually control in animal models neurons with different colours of light by light-sensitive molecules, which can be engineered on these neurons. So we're able to achieve a much greater degree of specificity now in terms of nice mind control than we could before.
Yeah. And Britt, greatest breakthrough for you?
I think watching this space as it becomes more finesse to create rehabilitative technologies to regain function, motor control, and even sensation for people who have not been able to feel their bodies in a very long time will be something that we see a lot from.
Helen, final word on greatest potential for breakthroughs.
For me, I want to know how brains interact with other brains. I'm not particularly interested in single brains. I want to see how they work together.
Nice. That's a really nice way to finish. Thank you all so much for sending in your questions about the brain. Sorry we didn't get to answer all of them, but unfortunately that's all we've got time for here on Tomorrow's World Live.
We've had a fantastic time this evening exploring the latest technologies that shed light on how the brain works, what happens when it sometimes becomes ill, and what we can do to help enhance it in the future.
Although I'm still not quite sure whether I'm more terrified or excited about the idea of a mind-machine meld.
I think you're very optimistic. I mean, my brain is sparking with electrical activity of excitement, I have to say, by all of this.
I think I'm still slightly freaked out, everyone. If you joined us partway through the show, you can find the full video online. Just search for BBC Tomorrow's World Mind Control. You'll also be able to find it on BBC iPlayer in a few days' time.
You can also watch our previous episodes on space travel and robotics. Just go to the Tomorrow's World Live Facebook or BBC YouTube channel.
Thank you to all of our panellists, Helen Minnis, Britt Ray, Martin O'Neill and Anna Laura Van Harmelen.
And